I'm Kevin Mamajek, and you're watching Niagara Pro Tips. Okay, this is recording 2. So I ran into little problems with having the analytics service not installed on one of my JASes for the demo. Got that resolved. I'll bring that up when we get there. So I know some of you had questions on how I did the command and control of the analytic engine and the missing data strategies on the PX page. So essentially I'm just wiring in the components that are available from the actual slot, right? So if you look at this, I'm just taking the analytics service, dropping it in, and then choosing which component I want to display on the PX page, and it creates the editor for me. So I just, drag and drop it from there. That gives me that editor, and then I have to do a save and refresh to activate it. The idea behind this is this puts it right in front of me so that I understand exactly what's happening with the analytic engine. Because recaching, right, which we're stuck, which we can see, what I did is I wanted to build a tool to help me figure out that if I've walked away from something, when I come back, I know what I've flipped on switches and things of that nature. So the goal here is it will display the PX page for analytics, and then I've written some of these components to kind of call out if they're not set in the default way or if they've been overridden. The goal here is this is telling me, yeah, none of this is going to work because it's disabled, right? So if I turn that to true, I hit save. Now I've got the service running, but now I need to build my cache because that wasn't started. So I can push the cache button, and then you'll see I get everything green. If you override certain things, right, and hit save, I'm going to call out that this is not a great condition, right? This is not default. Let's put it back to default. This is not, or this is set at default. So that's something you want to do. And then in order for me to put them on the PX page, I've actually built little templates for you. These are all responsive, so you can just grab the block, right, that you want and copy and paste it onto your PX page, and then you'll get the little bingo board of what the current thing's in. So it's telling me the auto tagging isn't on. I can go back now to that main page and enable auto tagging, and we should be up to speed. The license, that is something I can't query from the system. So what I did is I can actually get how many points are used in the analytics, right? All I did was I created a variable. I can go type that in, and now I've got how many points I have left if I had a 100-point license. Okay, so I've pulled out missing data strategy for global. I've created a polar screen that you can use, and this will show you more of the polars. And then I've actually created a button that will execute one of those particular triggered polars. You can reverse engineer that. I did start looking at debugging and the debug blocks, but I'm not happy with how this is coming out. So I'm still messing with that, but I'll include it in case somebody can pick up that work. And then I've also created this AA tag points. So typically when you go into a station and you're trying to troubleshoot why something's not working, you really need to see if the AA tag is on that particular point. So what I did is I made this little PX page that if you copy this and then you go and put it in the level that you want to look for the tags here, right? And I've already pasted it. It will then automatically show you the tags that it found at that level. So this is very useful to figure out if nothing shows up, you don't have those tags on there. And then just out of curiosity, what else do you have in there that's tagged, right? So that's kind of helpful. It just has to live outside of the analyticsDEBUG folder. It has to live where you want to look at it. You don't have to do that. You can actually create your own hierarchy, right? And that's probably the best way, but here I wanted to give a fast way of dropping it into something and then looking at those particular components. So there's not much to it. I think it just puts some things in front of you that you can miss easily, especially if you're doing multiple things at the same time. So this little template will give you some of that visibility. To install the template, it's pretty easy. This is a JACE. Now, I want to say it's easy. First time I did this for the demo, the kit control wasn't on the JACE. And then after I did that, I tried it again, and the analytics service wasn't on the JACE. So I went and installed that module and installed the service. And now I'm to a point where I can go drag that template out, right? So if I go and grab this, it just has to live in the config space. So take the template, drag it into the config space, say OK. It's going to go ahead and transfer that template in its PX pages, and then it will connect the dots to the analytics service using those properties that I put in the template, which I thought was pretty cool when I figured that out. And these now are all linked. So that means all I have to do is I'm in that new station, go down here, double click, and everything will come into play. So first thing you'll notice is automatic tagging isn't turned on. The service is, and it's finished caching, but this again, you can spend hours lost because you're thinking, I got it tagged with the haystack tag, why isn't it working? And it's because auto tag was turned off and it never got identified to go or to get pulled into the analytics engine. So I hope this is helpful. This is, anything if you've changed or somebody changes, I will say that this is the default. They've overridden it. It's just an awareness thing that when trying to troubleshoot analytics with algorithms and things of that nature, you just need to know where some of these things are at, what versions you're at, how many points you have, things of that nature. So that is pretty much the template, and let us know what you think. See if this helps.